I'm just getting into this, and I thought you might like having a start to it. Maybe you already have a start to it. You said I did this for you in the beginning or something. I don't frickin' know. It's a half step down. So instead of being an E, it's a D sharp. Instead of being an A, it's a G sharp. Instead of being a D, it's a E sharp. Nope, C sharp. Pardon me. Instead of being a G, it's an A sharp. Instead of being a B, it's a. What did I just do? Instead of being a G, it's an F sharp. Instead of being a B, it's an A sharp. And instead of being an E, it's an F. No, it's a D sharp. So anyhow, everything a half step down, even if my brain's not working. And the thump is, I don't have a dobro, and I know he's playing on a dobro of some sort. May even be a steel guitar, I don't know. You can let as much of that or as little of that ringing out as you want to make it sound like you want it to. But he opens up with it's a little different in the very beginning, and in fact, listening to it closely, it looks like they had an editing snafu on the like third bar of the thump 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 dirt thump thump thump. It is supposed to be doubled up, but you can hear in the recording there's this odd like like they stuck it in from a different recording. It sounds like they didn't cut it well. I'll show you, because I separated the audio so that I could hear just the guitar, to try to isolate it. Of course, other guitars come in too. We'll discuss a little bit of that. But anyhow, starts off 5/7. It's some of these, like when he does his 5/7/5/7 and back. It seems like often the first five, I put an X on the notation because it doesn't ring. It's almost muted. And I don't know what he's playing with, whether he's got a slide on his hand or what he's doing. But that first five, when he does a 5/7/5/7, often sounds muted. So anyhow, back to the beginning. It's going to be that's that mute. And even on some of the ones where he does just a 5/7, it seems like, for whatever reason, that first five is muted. This one's a little bit different. 5/7, muted open there. Then again, 5/7, muted open. Grab your high E string. He does it with a slide, so he's likely there at the fifth of the B string, if he's going to get a slide sound to it. But so yeah, back to that again would be 5/7, 1 2 3, 5/7, 1 5/7 1, and that's pretty close. And however you want to, I mean, you can pick this, and this is why it's starting to sound like maybe I did this already. And you can almost get that deader sound that he's got. I'm using a strange material pick from where the hell's the camera? From a long time ago. It's not the typical easy flexy that you get now. It's a bit more click to it, but it's not a thick pick. But anyhow, you could certainly screwed the head up. So the sound can be there with that, and this is just the start of it. You hear the other guitars, and that's a D7 down here at the first fret, a D minor 7, pardon me. So if that's D, that's E, that's F, that's G, that's G sharp. And I think that's where the tones are. I'm not listening to it right now, and I didn't write it down, but I think it's at the 7th fret. And that upside down D chord, we'll call it, right? Because your D chord has 2 low with a high in the middle, right? If I put it backwards and I put my low in the middle and my 2 high on the outsides, then I get that. You can definitely hear the blues in that chord. And you can not only play it on the G, B, and E string, you can move it down to the D, G, and B string. And you've got to stay in those strings. So whether it be plucking it, and that's your more kind of jazzy chord. I think it's a diminished chord in there. And then you can move it down again, I think. And you might be to an augmented chord there. But now I'm on the A, the D, and the G. I don't know if I can move it down again. It's funky sounding there, isn't it? But you could make, it's not the worst sound in the world if you were being unique. But anyhow, you get a lot of neat sounds out of what I call the upside down D chord. And they certainly get that in there. I haven't worked any more, but anyhow, that's not as difficult as I thought it was going to be, and certainly with a pick, I'm right on that string, not letting much of it ring out whatsoever. And it's obviously, it's going to be an E, right? It's D sharp here, an A, or an A flat slash G sharp, and then it's going to be your B, or your what would that be? A sharp, B flat, A sharp, because but either way, it's E, A, B, a half step down, just in case I'm getting that stuff wrong in my head. and they don't move. He doesn't move often. The other guitar does. But anyhow, that's the start to it, and I'll finish working it out and get it off to you.